Hi everyone, my name is Bilal Khan and I welcome you all to this Avengers Chat series. In the last video, that was section 1, we created the home screen to display the list of Avengers in the Recycler view. And in this video, we will create the channel list. So we will select one Avenger from the list and we will go to the channel list where we will see the other Avengers to chat with. But before starting this section, I will show you the existing application. So I have made some changes and I have added the effects that I shown you in the introduction. So if I run the application now, you can see the project here. If I run it now, we will get this output. You can see we have the effects now and it is looking awesome, right? So to add these effects to your project, you can open the repository. I'll show you. So this is the repository. And here you can go to this branch, that is section 1 home screen underscore A. Now this branch has the effect changes. And if you want to see the changes that I have made to add these effects, you can open this pull request, that is number 2 UI effects added. And here you can see the files that are changed. So you can do these changes to your project, or you can simply go to this branch, that is underscore A, and you will get all the effects and you can run the application and you will see something like this. Now effects are added in the home screen, and after this we need to open the channel list activity, and that is what we are going to code in this video. But before that, I would like to thank to the original creator of this project, and the guy is my friend named Jay Wong. He works with me. So I would like to thank Jay Wong for this awesome Android chat application. So now let's start coding. So we will go back to the project, and what I'll do is I will add a ClickListener to my RecyclerView adapter. So this is the adapter, and here inside the function that is setup RecyclerView, I will add the ClickListener. So I will write adapter dot item ClickListener, and I will set a lambda here, that is item, position and view. So this item is the clicked Avenger. So we will pass this Avenger, that is the selected Avenger, to the next activity. So first we also need to create an activity. So what I will do is inside my UI package, I will create a new activity. So I will select an empty activity and I will name it Avengers Channel List Activity, like this. Now the first thing that we need to do is we need to design the UI inside this activity Avengers channel list. So I will open the XML file and again I will quickly do the design. Now here you can see I have two stream UI components that we also used in the last stream chat tutorial. So you can also check that video if you want to understand the basics about stream SDK. So the first component that we are using is this stream channel list header view, and the next one is the channel list view where we will see the list of Avengers to chat with. So these two components I am using. Now I will go back to Avengers channel list activity, and instead of this app compat activity, we will extend our base activity that we created. So I will extend base activity like this. Now to base activity, I need to define the binding. So the binding is activity Avengers channel list binding. So here I will write activity Avengers channel list binding like this. And to the constructor, I need to pass the reference of the inflate function. So what I will do is I will write activity Avengers channel list binding double colon and then inflate. And this is how we pass a reference of the function. So that's it. I will optimize the imports. Now we do not need to call this set content view function because I am already doing it inside the base activity. So let's delete this line, and that's it. We have the onCreate function. Now inside this activity class, I will create a companion object. So I will create a companion object, and inside this companion object, I will create a function and I will name it start activity. Now whenever I want to start this activity, I need the selected Avenger. So to this function start activity, I will pass the selected Avenger. So we have the Avenger here. Now I will create one more private const val, and it is the key Avenger to get it from the intent. So we have the key Avenger here. Now one more thing we need to do is we need to add parcelize to our Avengers model data class. So here I will write parcelable like this, and I can use the annotation that is parcelize, and it is not available by default. To use it, we need to add a plugin to our build.gradle file. So I will go to build.gradle, that is my app level, and here I will write id Kotlin parcelize, and then I'll sync the project. Now if I try to get parcelize, I can see the parcelize annotation now. So I will use this Kotlin X parcelize annotation, and that's it. Because I want to pass this Avenger class via intent, I need to make it parcelable. So that is why I have added this parcelable, and to avoid adding that parcelable codes, we can use this parcelize annotation, and all the codes will be generated automatically. So that's it for now for this Avengers data class. Now let's go back to Avengers channel list activity. And here I will create an intent, and because I want to create an intent here, I also need the context instance. So I will write context like this. Now I will create an intent here. So we have intent. The first parameter is the context. The next parameter is the activity that we want to open. In this case, I want to open Avengers channel list activity and class.java like this. Then I can use the scope function also, and I can write put extra. For the key, I will use key Avenger that I just defined, and for the actual value, I will pass the selected Avenger. That's it. Now finally, I can call context.startActivity, and I can pass the intent, that is it. Now I can call this function in my main activity. So whenever an item is clicked in the home screen, I will call Avengers channel list activity dot start activity, and it expects context and Avenger. So what I can do is I can pass this at main activity for the context, and for the Avenger I can pass this item, that is the selected Avenger. So I will write item here like this, and that's it. Now if I click the item, the Avengers channel list activity will open. So that's it for the main activity. Now I will go to Avengers channel list activity, and here I will do the other things because we want to display the channel list. And to do this, the first thing we need is we need chat client and chat domain. And to initialize these things, what I will do is I will create an application class. So I will create new Kotlin file class, and I will name it Avengers Chat App. Now we need to extend application to this class, and we need to add this class inside our manifest file. So I will add this class like this, that is our Avengers Chat App, and I will open this class, and I will override the function onCreate. And inside onCreate, we will initialize our chat client and chat domain. So this is how we initialize the chat client and the chat domain. We already covered it in the stream chat tutorial. So our chat client and chat domain is initialized, and now we can use these classes in the other parts of our application. Now after this, we will open our Avengers repository, and we will create a function to connect the user with stream backend. So I will open Avengers repository, And here we already have a function get Avengers to fetch the list of Avengers from the URL. So I will create one more function here. This time I will create a normal function, not a suspending function. So I will create fun and I will name it connect user. Now user is the selected Avenger. So I will pass Avenger as the parameter, and now I will connect the selected Avenger to the stream backend. Now to connect a user, we need to create a user instance, and this user class is from Stream SDK. So I will create a val user and I will create an instance of class user that is from Stream SDK, as you can see here. So I'm using this user class. Now to this user class, I need to pass ID that I will get from this Avenger instance, and I also need to pass some extra data. So for now, I will just pass name, and for extra data, we will create a mutable map of, and we will pass name to Avenger.name like this. So we have name of the Avenger for the extra data. And now we will connect this user with our stream backend. So what I will do is I will write chat client dot instance dot connect user, and we will pass the user that we just created, and we also need to pass the authentication token that we already have inside our Avenger instance. So we will write Avenger dot token like this, and finally we will call the enqueue function to connect the user. And that's it. But before connecting an Avenger, we also need to check if the Avenger is already connected. And if it is already connected, we will disconnect the Avenger. So I will create a function here that is private fun disconnect user. And here also we will pass the Avenger. And first we will check val user equals to chat client dot instance dot user. I think it is not user, but it is get current user. And this function will return the user if it is already connected. So first we will check if user is not null, that means the user is connected, and Avenger dot id equals to user dot id. That means the connected user is the Avenger that we are trying to connect. In this case, we will disconnect the user. So we will write chat client dot instance dot disconnect. So we will just disconnect the user. Now we will call this function here before connecting the user. So we will write disconnect user and Avenger. That's it. So we have the function connect user inside our Avengers repository. Now we will call this function from our ViewModel. So now what I will do is I will create one more ViewModel for my Avengers channel list activity. So I will create a new class that is Avengers channel list ViewModel. So this is our ViewModel. Now because it is a ViewModel, we need to extend ViewModel. And we need the repository instance inside our ViewModel. So we have private val repository of type Avengers repository. Now to initialize this ViewModel, we will add it inside our ViewModel factory. So because we have multiple ViewModels, and for all the ViewModels, we will use the same ViewModel factory because we need repository only for our ViewModel. So I will create the ViewModel here equals to when, and I will check if the model class is assignable from the first ViewModel that we have as main activity ViewModel. So what we will do is we will create main activity ViewModel, and we will pass the repository, and we will define one more case that is else, and if our when is not matching with any cases, we will go to the else and we will throw an exception here. So we will write throw illegal argument exception, and we can pass a message like cannot create ViewModel or whatever you want. Now we have one more case here because we have two view models now. So I will write model class dot is assignable from, and this time I have Avengers channel list view model class dot java. So this time I will create Avengers channel list view model and I will pass the repository. That's it. So our view model factory is ready. We just need to return the view model that we created here. So we have view model. Now we will go back to our Avengers channel list activity, and here we will define or initialize our view model. So I will define a private late init var here of type Avengers channel list view model like this. Now we will initialize the view model. So I will write view model equals to view model provider. For the first parameter this, and for the factory we will pass factory because it is already inside the base activity, and then I will call get, and I will pass Avengers channel list view model class.java like this. Now we have our view model. Once we have the view model, what we will do is we will connect the user, and to connect the user we need the Avenger, and Avenger we already have inside the intent. So what I will do is I will get the Avenger first. So I will define one more private late init var, and it is for our Avenger. Now I will initialize this Avenger from intent. So what we can do is we can write Avenger equals to intent dot get extra, that is get parcelable extra, and for the key we will pass key Avenger. And because this get parcelable extra function returns a nullable value, we can write an else operator here, and if the value is null we can throw an exception, that is throw illegal argument exception, and we can write a message like Avenger not found or Avenger cannot be null. So I will make it in the next line so that you can see it clearly. So either we have the Avenger or we will throw an exception. And to make this line a bit cleaner, I can define an extension function. So inside this file, that is context extensions, let's define one more extension function. So we have created a function get parcelable or throw. Here we will pass the key, and if the key is found, we will get the key or we will throw an exception. So I will use this function here to make our activity look cleaner. So here I will simply call, instead of this, I will call get parcelable or throw, and I will pass key Avenger like this. So the code is cleaner now. So we have the Avenger and we have the view model. Now what we can do is we can call the function. So we have ViewModel dot connect user. I think we have not defined that function inside ViewModel. So let's open the ViewModel and define the function connect user. So here we will define fun connect user. It will take an Avenger, and we will call repository dot connect user, and we will pass the Avenger. Now inside our activity we will call ViewModel dot connect user, and we will pass the selected Avenger. So now our user or Avenger is connected. Now after connecting the user or our Avenger, we need to initialize the channel list. And to initialize the channel list, we need to create the channel list factory because we already have a view model for channel list. And to initialize that view model, we need channel list view model factory. So what I will do is I will define a factory here, val factory equals to channel list view model factory like this. Now we will initialize our channel list view model using this factory. So what I will do is I will define one more val for our channel list view model. So we have val channel list view model, and I will initialize this val using the delegate, that is view models, and inside this trailing lambda I can pass this factory. Now I also need to define the type. So I will define the type as channel list view model. And that's it. Now we have our channel list view model. And with the help of this view model, what we can do is we can initialize our channel list that we defined in the UI in the XML code. And to do this, we will call the function bind view from our channel list view model. So I will write channel list view model dot bind view. For the first parameter, we need to pass our view, that is channel list view, that we defined inside our XML file. So I will get it from the binding instance that I already defined inside the base activity. So here I will write binding dot channel list view. And for the next parameter, we need to pass the lifecycle owner. And because we are inside an activity, we can pass this. So our channel list is initialized now. So let's run the application and see whether it is working or not. So this is our home screen. Now let's click on an Avenger. And you can see we are inside channel list and it is working absolutely fine. We just need to add an icon here on the left and a heading to our toolbar or channel list header view. So the channel list is working fine. We just need to do some improvements. So let's do it. To set information in our channel list header, what we will do is we will get the currently connected user. And to get the user, we can use chat domain. So we will write chat domain dot instance dot user. And it is a live data. And we can observe this user to get the currently connected user. So for the owner, we will pass this and we will get the user here. Now we can check if user is not null. If the user is not null, we will set it to our channel list header view. So we will write binding dot channel list header view dot set user and we will pass the user. And to set the title, we can call the function that is binding dot channel list header view dot set online title. And for the title, we can use the app name. So I can call the function that is get string and I can pass r dot string dot app name like this. That's it. Now if I run the application again, you can see we have this profile picture here and the title is not there. So I think I forget to call one more function that is binding dot channel list header view dot show online title. So we need to call this function. So let's run it again. Now if I select an Avenger, you can see Avengers Chat is here. So we have the profile picture, we have the title, and we have the list of Avengers to chat. So it is working absolutely fine. And I think that's it for this section 2. And we successfully created the channel list activity for our project. And in the next section, we will finally build the chat screen. So that's all for this video. If you have any problem or confusion or question, you can leave it in the comments below and I will try to help you out. So if you like this video, please hit on the like button, subscribe to stream and share this video with all your friends. And if you need the source code, then the link is given in the description of this video. So thanks for watching everyone. This is Bilal Khan now signing off.